Hi, I'm Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. And on today's episode of Cameron Reads Comics, I'm going to be talking about Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star by Daniel Warren Johnson. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is a Beta Ray Bill miniseries. It collects Beta Ray Bill issues number 1 through 5. It is written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, the phenomenal, I want to say up-and-coming talent, but he's kind of established himself in the industry, and we know now that he's here to stay. So it's him and his longtime collaborator, colorist Mike Spicer. For accessibility in the story, it takes place shortly after Donny Cates' Thor issue number 3. And in that issue, all you really need to know is that Thor breaks Stormbreaker, Beta Ray Bill's hammer that was given to him in the Walt Simonson Thor run. So for the MCU fans watching this, Beta Ray Bill's hammer is Stormbreaker, and Thor's hammer is Mjolnir. In the MCU, they gave Thor Stormbreaker, kind of different arc than originally planned. But then the source material. Beta Ray Bill is a Corbinite. He originally appeared in Walt Simonson's Thor run, issue number 3, I believe it's 337. And he busts on the scene. He's the first person to be able to, or one of, I'd say the most memorable person to pick up Thor's hammer at the time. And he does that, and he steals Thor's hammer away from him, and he transfers, he gets the power of Thor. He has this big old horse face. He's freaking sick. What happens after Thor breaks Stormbreaker, Beta Ray Bill's hammer, is that Beta Ray Bill isn't able to change back to his Corbinite form. He's able to be in his Thor form with a big horse face and, be big and powerful, but he's not able to turn back into his, human, meeker form. Thor, in the comics, does a similar thing. He changes back from Thor to Donald Blake, his human form, and that's kind of what the story explores. Where's Bill to go? What is he to do? He is stuck in his Thor form, and he can't turn back. So Bill was using Stormbreaker to do that, but Bill's stuck. So that's really kind of what the story is about, is his hammer. You know what a hammer is, what a weapon is to a Thor character. It's their identity. So when his identity is taken from him, he is lost in battle. His tail's between his legs. He's feeling defeated. And he can't change back to himself. So he feels hideous, and he can't go on with his life. He has a romance with Lady Sif that he can't explore, apparently, because his Thor form is his form. And so he goes on a quest to see what is, where can I find a new weapon? Where is Odin, and what's a new weapon that I could find to change back? And so the characters that he goes on this journey with are a new character based on his ship. I believe his ship's name was Scuttlebutt, and Scuttlebutt becomes sentient and becomes a robot, which is pretty cool. So now he has this robot named Scuttlebutt, who he knows and has been a part of this whole journey for him for, as long as he's been in the comics. And Scourge, who is a familiar face in the Thor franchise. Him and Scourge go on this freaking quest together, and it's sick. And Scourge uses some really freaking sick guns. He gets in battles with Fin Fang Foom. He gets in battles with Searcher at the end. It is so freaking good, and I'm not giving this story justice in this opinion, but I want you to know now, if it's a deal, I'm going to tell you about it. This book is only $15.99 at the time. $15.99, and I'm sure you can find it for cheaper. I think it's so freaking good that you guys should all read it. And especially right now with what's going on in the industry with Daniel Warren Johnson in his Transformers run, in everything else going on with him, you guys should go pick up this freaking story because it's so good. It's so dynamic. The fights are so good. He eventually battles Searcher, who I found out as I was reading this, destroyed his planet. Searcher killed the Corbinites. And so Beta Ray Bill now gets to fight him over this weapon that Searcher has. It is so freaking sick. Well, so let's go into the art. It's the same writer, Daniel Warren Johnson. He does his own pencils and inks. And actually, this is a window where I'd love to recommend his YouTube channel. I'll actually put it in the video notes. Daniel Warren Johnson has his own YouTube channel, and he just goes live on Friday nights, or at least around the weekend. And all he does is draw. And it's so ASMR, so nice. It's very pleasant, and he is just like one of the nicest guys. He falls into this camp kind of like Scott Snyder, where I'm like, if you'd like hear them talk, they're very, very, very sweet people. But like then you read their work, they are freaking demented. So I just really want to open up that window to you guys because he's amazing. This isn't one of the gnarlier pieces of work he's done, but I'm gonna go check out Extremity now. I'm trying to read through everything he does because he's doing a local signing. And actually, I think I've told you guys, at Comic-Con I met him, and I actually didn't even pay for this book. He gifted it to me when I saw him at Comic-Con. He even gave me a little Beta Rey Bill sketch. Fun fact, Beta Rey Bill and like The Thing are two of my favorite Marvel characters just because they're so cool. Like, I don't know much about Beta Rey Bill. He's a character I love without having read a ton of him, but this is the first miniseries I read other than Simonson's Thor. I'm always glad he's around when he is because I just think he's such a unique character. Anyways, great memories of that book. I have a Beta Rey Bill sketch from Daniel Warren Johnson. It's a great freaking book. Now, for the art, go watch Daniel Warren Johnson's YouTube channel because he'll talk about it, but I don't know what to say other than I love Daniel Warren Johnson. I wasn't a fan before I read his work, and now that I did, I love him. I think he's on par with like Tim Sale. I think he's just an astounding, brilliant artist. I think he draws like some of the best fight scenes, and he is a pro wrestling fan, i.e. Do a Powerbomb, one of his stories that he wrote and draw recently. And you can see some of his friggin' pro wrestler moves in this story during the gnarly fights that Beta Rey Bill goes through. He draws the best. He draws the best motion. The way he lays out the panels, the way he like can create all the elements to force your eye in a direction. It's amazing. I think he's incredible, and I think him and Mike Spicer really do have a special dynamic. So I'll throw up a couple of panels from this story onto the video, but one of the best artists. Like, look, if his name's on it, you should read it. That's really my take on it now, and it's only $15.99. So. Now is for my rating. Great read, really fun. 5 issues. I read this in like 24 hours, which is not common for me. Really dynamic, really fun, really great Thor story, Beta Rey Bill story. 9.2 out of 10. Excellent, nice, fun read, and I have like a permanent memory of this now being in my collection because Daniel Warren Johnson sketched it, gave it to me for free. One of the nicest people, one of the biggest sweethearts in the industry. Go check it out. If you've read this, maybe go leave a comment. My name's Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. I'll see you guys next time.